there's a pleasant good evening from Pinsville. I'm Daniel Anker and welcome to this edition of LNTV News Live. 30 minutes of major news events in Liberia and other parts of our global community. I'm Daniel Anker anchoring tonight. Top stories we follow in Liberian Senate begins hearing into the impeachment of Associate Justice Kabina Jane as a motion calling for the Chief Justice Francis Kokpo to recuse himself from the proceedings has also been filed. The head of the Liberia Water and Seawork Corporation, Duana Kamara, attributes the shortage of water to an overload of the already old water pipe, says they're working with partners to resolve the issue. The Liberia Immigration Service says it has generated up to $2.5 million in revenue collection. Away from Liberia now, dozens of gold miners in Zimbabwe are feared to have drowned after heavy rains flooded two mines. These stories plus much more up. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. In our first story tonight, the Liberian Senate today commenced impeachment proceedings against His Honor Associate Justice Kabina Jane. In keeping with Article 43 of the Liberian Constitution, the Chief Justice was invited to preside over the proceedings. Senate Pro Tem Abochi provided the opening comments in the chambers of the Liberian Senate. Well, sincerely apologize for not having audio to that clip. Quickly, we'll move on to where the Liberia Immigration Service says it has generated up to $2.5 million in revenue collection. Such revenue is said to be generated from duties carried out by immigration officers at the various points. Acting Commissioner General Moses Yeble began firstly by talking about the amount of border points that the LIS have got assigned officers. He made a disclosure today at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing.
And out of the 176, as I said, static deployment, meaning where our physical presence will be 24/7 static deployment, 45 of those points. And then we have routine patrols at 131 of those points. Now beyond the LIS normal security rule, we are also a major revenue generating entity for government through the migration services we offer the public. And that is why even through the physical period, we've been able to contribute a little over $2.5 million to the consolidated accounts from our different migration services we offer the public, especially the migrant community. To bring you up to speed with the level of professional maintenance thing we have, we are still trying to build the capacity of our officers, and in capacity building, we're still trying to liaise with our partners and others to help us along the way.
Well, he is the acting immigration boss, Moses Yeble. He's also said that in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a unit to provide visas on arrival for some foreign nationals will be shortly installed at the new RIA terminal.
We have to fly from several states to come over into Washington or to come to the consulate in New York to be able to obtain the Liberian visa. Now, under the leadership of this president, he wants that to change. And so we are trying to initiate a visa on arrival system, wherein now you can stand from any part of the world and you will be able to apply online for a Liberian visa on arrival, make payments online, and you'll be able to come to Liberia straight. We are working in line with this project. A $1.8 million deal has been signed by the government of Liberia and a service provider by the name of TechnoBrain. We're trying to set up the equipment in the new airport, and by the time the new airport is open, we're working with speed to ensure that we'll be able to deliver that service along the line. So basically, is a joint project. The Liberia Immigration Service lead, but we are working in line with the LRA, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Justice, and all of the stakeholders in between there to ensure that we have one mission and that we'll be able to make migration readily an easy thing for Liberia.
Well, the shortage of water in so many parts of Monrovia has caused disturbance for many. The head of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, Duana Kamara, says these shortages are due to a damaged pipe from White Plains. According to Mr. Duana Kamara, the water pipe from White Plains was built to carry a load of just about 400,000 as opposed to a load of over 1 million plus customers it has currently. He made the disclosure today at the Ministry of Information regular briefing.
Our 36-inch water line is the main line that runs water into the country from White Plains. And that line was built since 1968, and it was commissioned, built 66 and commissioned 1968. Many of us in this room are not even born. Previous administrations have worked on that pipe. They have maintained the pipe on several occasions. That water pipe was really built to truck water, to transport water to about 400,000 population in Liberia at the time of 1968. Today, we have an inhabitant of 1.6 million people in Monrovia, Montserrado County. So you know the enormous pressure that is being bared on what? On that water line. So the crack in the water line, it is not the result of any human error. It is not the result of water and sewer. It is not as a result of anyone in any situation, but it's just the pressure. It's just the pressure that we got on the pipe. And that's why we had the rupture. And I'd just like to show you, we brought you pictures so that you'll be able to.
Well, the Liberia Water and Sewer Board also says they're working with partners and appealing to partners through public-private partnership to assist in refurbishing these water pipes.
So what we want to do, we are appealing to investors, to our partners, our development partners, the ADB, the African Development Bank, and all other development partners, so that we can work with them, work with investors on a PPP basis to be able to change this pipe. You see this pipe? This pipe cannot service the population that we have in Monrovia. We will continue to pump water out of this pipe for now. This is what we have. We are back now. Those in Sinka, those in Paisley are receiving water right now. We got this repaired in the shortest possible time. And what I want to say to the folk estate, when they are a national issue, I think you owe it to the institution to come to us and we'll be able to explain to you. For guessing, I don't think it's appropriate. But there's no water in this country. We all suffer the circumstances. And I don't think we want to be there to deprive you of what you are entitled to. We just want to make this clear. When these situations...
He's the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation boss, Duana Kamara. The Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications has signed an agreement with the Liberian company for the construction and installation of 10,000 private lock boxes. The 10,000 lock boxes will be installed at post offices and private institutions around Monrovia. Post and Telecom Minister Cooper Kura made the disclosure when he appeared today at the Ministry of Information regular press briefing.
Now we just executed an agreement with a PPP arrangement with a Liberian company. We are now revitalizing 10,000 of the mailboxes we have in Liberia. That will be in Monrovia, the environment, and in some of the legal counties. As you may be aware, we have 15 counties. In 11 of the counties, we have facilities. All the facilities now, we will have to now move to put the mailboxes back in those places. If you went around the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications today, you see what's going on. If you pass by the McDonald's Street side of it, you will see ongoing work on all the boxes. We intend to improve the services at the Post and Telecommunications because this is the most of the posts where we have our facilities, there are not commercial banks available in most of the areas. So we are now negotiating with partners, looking for partners. We have not confirmed one to work with us to set up, to introduce financial, postal financial services at our different locations.
Post and Telecoms Minister Cooper Crowd. About 42% pre-packed census materials have been presented to the Liberian Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services by a local company called Impeachment. The items would include pens, memory sticks, many others. They are customized by this Liberian company. Receiving the items, Professor Francis Rare, head of Legis, thanked the group for the initial items delivered and promised to use them for the intended purpose.
If actual counting takes place, there are other activities we will be involved in. And these materials that you see here today, the pre-packed materials you see here today, are intended for the first phase of the census that we conduct. As we speak, the last time we received applications around the country for the 15 counties. And these guys were recruited from the counties. They applied and they were shortlisted. We gave the first test in Monrovia in October. But we have to do all the tests to the other people before we can do anything. So this week, beginning the 15th, is it 15? 15 or 16 to the 25th. Our teams will go around the country to give the aptitude test for those that have need geographic planning. After the census, after that result is published, those that have been selected will be engaged to be trained by a consultant in the area.
Well, sorry for the poor quality of that video. Moving on, earlier the officer in charge of Intouch Prints, Vani Famula, commended President Weah for fulfilling his promise to help empower Liberian-owned businesses.
Mistake about extension of the quality of products and services that we offer. In this regard, we're asked to provide regular pens, but just to add up to the grade and quality of the materials. As you see here, we're providing customized pens that will be used for the process. Also, we've been contacted to provide 4 gig pen drive, the USB pen drive. To enhance the quality of the working, we've increased it to 8 gig pen drive. I think you see the pen drive here. It's 8 gig in terms of the quality. Also, another thing we also asked to do was to provide the brown tape that is normally used to package materials. And we know that when it comes to the census, it comes with a whole lot of security onto it. And so what we did was we customized the tape. You're not going to be using the ordinary brown scotch tape. And so what you have, it has on it, of course, the logo of Legis, and then Census 2019.
If you're just joining us, this is a reminder that you're watching LNTV News Live, and I'm Daniel anchoring tonight. Top stories we're following. The Liberian Senate begins hearing into the impeachment of Associate Justice Kabina Jane, as motion calling for Chief Justice Kokpo to recuse himself from the proceedings has also been filed. The head of the Liberian Water and Sewer Corporation, Duana Kamara, attributes the shortage of water to an overload of the already old water pipes, says they're working with partners to resolve the issue. The Liberia Immigration Service says it has generated up to $2.5 million in revenue collection. Away from Liberia, dozens of gold panels in Zimbabwe are feared to have drowned after heavy rains flooded 2 mines. When we return from our break, most stories are up. Keep watching. We'll be right back. Welcome back to LNTV News Live. To our next story now, where River G County Senator Matthew J has paid tribute to the fallen Monserrado County Senator Geraldine Do Sharif. According to Senator J, Senator Do Sharif was a strong force to reckon with. He made the assertions at his Capitol building office.
Difficult to really understand, because Geraldine personally was like a sister to me. We came from the same southeast, from Harper, you know, and so I knew Geraldine for a very long time. Her mother, you know, her aunt, Zimbabwe, from Plibo, who married to Patrick Tai, who also was the catechist of our church, St. Francis Parish. So, I mean, the whole family, I knew them. So at times we go in section, we speak Nyambo. She myself, she call me Dakwanyu, you know, and I'll call Yineju, and then we greet each other. That's how close we were. So her death, you know, is a shock to me. I mean, everybody. And in the Liberian Senate, Geraldine was, I mean, a man-woman, because she really, you know, was forceful. Whatever she wants, especially issues on the floor that she support, she was always there convincing senators, you know, to go with her.
Well, that's Senator Matthew J. They're talking about the fallen Montserrat County Senator Geraldine Sharif. By the way, today is also her birthday. To our next story now, the chairman of the Liberia National Commission on Small Arms, Marvin Sakor, has returned to the country after attending the International Arms Trade Treaty. According to him, the trip was a successful one, especially with the signing of the international legal instrument which Liberia is expected to ratify upon final presentation by President Weir to the national legislature.
On our law, the only security institution or the only agency that are allowed to carry weapons legally are the security institutions which are the LNP, the DEA, the LIS, the NSA, the EPS, and surveillance are not authorized to carry arms, and we are starting to see an increase in the amount of illegal arms coming into the country. And let me be specific, the only arms that is authorized by surveillance is the single barrel for hunting only. So if you are in the constant habit or have in your possession of any kind of a weapon, small arm weapons, you are carrying the weapon illegally, and please make sure you turn over to the police, or else you will fear the weight of the law. And for all small arms, our job is not to go out there and arrest people, but our job is to formulate policy that will come out of proliferation and illicit small arms and weapons. And now we are expanding our scope of operation to that of conventional arms.
Well, meanwhile, the CSA boss is also calling on residents across the borders of Liberia to respect all related protocols regarding the control of small arms and light weapons across the globe. Mr. Sako warned violators to turn over illegal weapons to the police or face the full weight of the law.
The Armed Security usually have an annual CSP5 meeting. Is a prep meeting for the next fiscal year, which is 2020. So we should go this time of the year to discuss issues related to arms control, especially conventional arms. And you know, Liberia is one of the signatories to the ATT. At this point, we have ratified the ATT back in 2015, and we are at the point of domesticating that law. So we should go. Every country that are signatory will go there and submit their report, and progress has been made. So for Liberia, we have already ratified the law, and now we are waiting for the president to submit the bill for enactment, for legislative enactment. So it was a good experience in Liberia. We were represented, and after that I left. I went to Equatorial Guinea, where I was there representing Liberia again on the banning of fissile material that is used to develop nuclear weapon, nuclear explosive. So for Liberia, we probably have uranium. For other countries within West Africa or the South region that have uranium, some of the Western countries are very concerned because when it is reached up the weapon grade, it becomes very dirty, which is nuclear arms. So they want to make sure that countries that possess those materials are usually only for surveillance purpose, which is nuclear energy, but not to weaponize them. So this is some of the reasons we are out there out of the country.
What are the messages you've brought back for Liberia now so far?
Yeah. So the message I brought back to Liberia is that you know, to our dark days in this country, the 14-year armed conflict, we had small armed weapon play a negative impact, you know, I mean, on the society. So we want to sure that we are part of the international body that is also working closely with countries that in the constant habit of illegally selling in and around Liberia. It's not Liberia only because other countries are deeply affected too.
He's Marvin Sako. He is the head of the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons. Well, as a way of buttressing government's efforts to better the healthcare delivery, a modern clinic has been dedicated in the police academy community. The clinic is expected to meet the healthcare needs of the overpopulated community. Rachel Colley attended the dedication, from where she now reports.
The Hajja Kadiatu Sharif Memorial Clinic dedication is the surest way of helping the healthcare sector of the country. Speaking at the occasion, Mosorado County Health Officer Dr. Yatta Wapo said the government depends on the private sector for improvement in healthcare delivery.
The public sector cannot do without the private sector. Currently, for this 1.4 million people plus, we have only 20% of all of the facilities in Montserrat being public. So currently in our DHRS2, that is where we track all of our health data, we have approximately 325 healthcare facilities. Of these 325, only 50 are public, the rest are private. So you see how we highly rely on the private sector to support government's own effort.
Speaking on behalf of the community, Bishop Emmanuel Freeman of the Senior Academy for Pastoral Network described the community as blessed to have its own clinic.
This facility that we have now, this will give us a short distance when there is a problem with our children. Instead of ELWA looking for a car, looking for JFK, looking for redemption, we'll just work with our patients just right in this community. So for and on behalf of the pastoral network here in this community, I want to congratulate you. I want to say let the good Lord bless you. Amen.
For his part, the proprietor of the Hajja Kadiatu Sharif Memorial Clinic, Christopher Suarez, said to achieve better healthcare services, a good road network is vital.
If I'm intending to have this place open for healthcare delivery, my first target should be the road. We should have a good road network. So we commenced on this road network during the month of January, and to where we find ourselves today, it is not 100% built, but I quite believe that where we find the road today is of more better than where it was, to a degree of more relevance.
The Hajja Kadiatu Sharif Memorial Clinic will address the healthcare needs of the police academy and its environs. I am Rachel Bangwe reporting.
Many thanks to Rachel for that report. To our foreign news now, where dozens of gold panels in Zimbabwe are feared to have drowned after heavy rain.
88 artisanal miners are feared dead following.
Police said rescue teams were trying to pump out the water and search for bodies and any survivors at the mines. Well, we have a report.
88 artisanal miners are feared dead following flooding of shafts at 2 mines in battlefields near Kadoma. 34 of the miners went underground at Silver Moon Mine and another 4 at Cricket Mine in Muravev constituency last night before the mines were flooded. Police spokesman for Mashonaland West Province, Inspector Clemens Mabias RS, said civil protection teams are being activated with heavy-duty pumps required to drain the water from the mines. He also said water levels in the 2 mines shafts are still rising, raising fears that 38 miners could have drowned. According to Mashonaland West Provincial Administrator Cecilia Chitio, Riozim has provided 1 pump while a request has also been made with Zimplats to provide rescue services. Ms. Chitio said many pumps and generators are needed before operations to search for survivors and bodies may begin.
tragic situation there in Zimbabwe. Well, folks, that's all we have for you tonight on LNTV News Live. Before we leave, a recap of the top stories. Liberian Senate begins hearing into the proceedings, impeachment proceedings of Associate Justice Kabina Jane, but a motion calling for Chief Justice Francis Kokko to recuse himself from the process has also been filed. The head of the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, Donna Kamara, attributes the shortage of water to overload of the already old water pipe, says they're working with partners to resolve the issue. The Liberian Immigration Service says it has contributed $2.5 million of revenue to the national budget. Dozens of gold panels in Zimbabwe are feared to have drowned after heavy rains flooded 2 mines. Thanks to all of you for watching. Do have a wonderful evening. Happy Valentine to all of you. Bye-bye. I'm Daniel Ankara Anchored. Have a wonderful evening.